Whoa! Whoa, whoa, darling! Darling! The house is shaking! Oh my gosh! What was that? Whoops. Okay, well, the house has stopped shaking, and darling, I love you so much, but I'm going to have to finish your chickpea noodle soup in just a little bit, because it appears that something has gone kaboom in our basement, and I'll look into it. Don't you worry, don't you worry. I'm sure this is totally fine. Oh my gosh. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Zoo Crafting! I am Zookeeper Seri, and we are here at my home in Zoodesia, where apparently something has rattled all of the leaves loose from my little tree house ceiling, because something has gone kaboom in the basement, where we have a lot of experiments going on in our labyrinth with all of the lab chickens and the professor cows, and our new lab assistant, Catherine, who is a little bit over-eager, and I'm beginning to suspect needs to have a slightly closer eye on her. Alright, well, let's do this, guys. Don't worry, darling, I'm sure everything's fine. There's no fire, like, making its way up from downstairs right now, after all. Alright, so nether area is totally fine, and I don't see, you know, there's no signs of flooding, no signs of escaped dinosaurs this time. Okay, alright. Well, let's go ahead, enter the lab. Here we are. Wiggle our way around one of our wonderful hybrid trees. Hello, Experiment 404. Cowberry, how are you doing today? Oh, thank you, Experiment 404. A mystery egg. I'll be sure to analyze it over in the zoology lab soon. I appreciate your dedication and your hard research. Professor Cowplant, Assistant Freezer Bunny. Everyone's doing well. It doesn't seem like the stasis chamber, with all of its cryogenically frozen wild animals, has met with any ill end. Alright, everything's good in here. Everything's good in here. Alright. Anything happening? Experiment 626? Anything happening in here with all of the special pieces that we have collected? Gosh, I really need to come in here and make this relic room. Ooh, our shiny geode. I need to make sure, like, our relic room gets a little bit more attention. And a few more relics, because, man, heckin', this is all the treasure I have? I thought I had a lot more treasure than this. Most of my relic chests are empty. Experiment 626, this is just unacceptable. We're gonna have to go ahead and absolutely travel the world, or worlds, more often and find ways to add in special relics for you to research. Because this is supposed to be a den of science and awesomeness. And also this really cool quick iron trinket of healing magic lamp that I'm sure will do something cool one day. But how will we know without more artifacts to research? But alright, seems like the artifact area is doing okay. How is the fossil extraction zone? Oh, thank you very much, Experiment 909. I really appreciate having more unidentified eggs. I'll take it to the Zoology Egg Research Center later. Okay, a little bit of a break with some of our culture vats, but we're doing good there. Egg chamber, empty. Embryo culture, empty. Oh, our bone fossils, we're so low on all of our everything. We're gonna have to go on an archaeology dig site day, because all I've really got is a dodo and some pig DNA. Ever since that last explosion of dinosaurs in the lab that ended up filling the lab with a lot of dinos and destroying this area, we just haven't rebuilt our fossils since then. Alright. And now, where I think the source of the explosion actually was. Further into the labyrinth, we have Experiment 828, good to see you. Dino chamber currently empty of dinos. Yes, that's what I thought. We have a whole bunch of Dryosauruses that we need to do something with, but that's a story for another day. Nothing in here. Emptied out the storage room to do some experiments. So that only leaves Project A.R.C testing zone, which, perhaps in my infinite wisdom, I blocked off from the rest of the lab in suspicions that something like this might happen. After all, Project A.R.C, which none of you have ever heard of before, is going to be a new era for zoo crafting, and it is going to involve some powerful science that is going to unite the worlds! But we'll talk about that in a moment, as soon as I make sure that things are not burning. Alright, let's open up the first of the security chambers. And the second security chamber. The first one is to make sure nothing, like, fiery escapes. The second one is to make sure that nothing physical, like any creatures, escape. Alright, let's wiggle our way in. And... oh my gosh! Catherine! What happened in here? Look at this! I know you were doing the portal research for Project A.R.C, but is this melted obsidian? How do you melt obsidian? What kind of powers? Oh my gosh, experiment 626, or excuse me, 632. Apologies, didn't mean to get the name wrong. Are you okay? Here, there you go. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh, Project Leader Henrietta, how are you doing? Oh, angry muttering walks. Okay. Project Leader Henrietta, who's in charge of everything in here, appears to be a little upset. My wall! My cave! Catherine! Did the obsidian blend into the stone? Wow. Wow, there's netherrack and... okay, there's some fire. Can I put out these fires? They're just like little embers floating around. Okay, there we go. Let's just come in. All right, let's just, I know that they were using some of the nether stuff, the nether racks and things like that to, okay, there we go. Fires are put out, little flames, I'm sure those will fade with time. Now I'm gonna need to make sure we have, all right, Moonworm Queen, if you don't mind lending us some of your children to light up the area so that we don't have anything show up inside of the lab, that would be very bad. All right, there we go. Thank you very much, Moonworm Queen. I appreciate your help. I understand you're getting a little old for this, but still. All right. Experiment 62... I can't see his ID. 632. I hope you're doing all right. And Catherine, can you explain what happened here? I know you guys are working on building new types of portals that will link us to other worlds, but I'm beginning to think I should have set up your... Catherine, you're still eating cake. Did you go upstairs and ask Chips for more cake? Catherine, you really are still eating cake! Catherine, give me some answers here. Oh, Seri. Funny you should be here so soon. I thought you were out checking the zoo. Catherine, the cake aside, what happened here? Oh, nothing major. Don't worry. I mean, I know how it looks, with the fire and explosions and melted obsidian all over the walls and everything. But, everything's fine. We're still totally within our measured variables for the experiments. Reactivity? We were just testing the latest portal design for Project A.R.C. And, well, you know how experiments go. Sometimes great, and sometimes kaboom! Kaboom? Oh, don't worry. This is totally normal. We are still carrying on with the first phase of Project A.R.C. Lead Lab Chicken Henrietta is certain we can get the first portal to a new water world opened in time for the summer schedule. At least she was before the kaboom. Now she won't really talk to me, but I'm sure everything will work out. Here, I'd better help the lab chickens tidy up. Do you think you could talk to them and see if they need more obsidian? We may need more to get the portal test up and going again. Catherine, I love you. But, well, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty, and you know what? She's right, guys. Sure, this looks really bad, but clearly they directed, and I'm sure that's you, leader Henrietta, making sure that the explosion would direct itself out of the side of our mountain instead of, you know, towards my extremely precious lab or my extremely precious darling or towards any of our other zoo areas. So I appreciate your foresight. Lab Chicken, I do hope you're okay. Your feathers do seem a little bit singed. And you know what, guys? I guess sometimes things just happen when you start new experiments. And I guess it is about time to explain just what this new experiment is all about. And my friends, behold, the beginning of what will hopefully become an amazing new era for zoo crafting. Project A.R.C. Project ARC! We are actually going to prepare a way to travel between multiple worlds in search of even more amazing plants and animals that can help us to find the discoveries of the world and ooh and ah over what we discover there. So Project ARC is going to be a series of portals that our wonderful lab chickens and their new assistant Catherine are going to be putting together that will allow us to leave Zudasia. Not forever, but just temporarily, so that we can travel to realms that have animals and creatures, plants and wonders that we have never seen, and that possibly wouldn't survive here in our 1.7.10 world of Minecraft. Here is a beautiful realm that we cherish, we admire, we adore. It has creatures that cannot be seen in any other of the realms. But I've heard rumors about these new things that people have been talking about. I've spent so many years here in Zudasia that I've missed out on some things like the rumors of foxes, pandas, sea turtles, bees the size of my head. What's going on? I've even heard that there's llamas now. And lately, I've been having these really weird dreams where I'm trapped in some sort of Minecraft dungeon realm and running around trying to save villagers from these creatures called illagers. And sometimes in my dream, Lily's there, except Lily's actually a werewolf who has like Firefox abilities. And those dreams have made me realize that it is time. It is time to find a way to adventure beyond our only world of zoo crafting and Zudasia, and to expand to Project ARC, adventuring into the arcs of new realms, but very slowly, very carefully, methodically, with proper science behind it, and not forever. So basically, guys, that's the plan. Project ARC is going to allow us to build multiple portals that will take us to other realms, like some of the worlds that just are not compatible with our animals, and we're not compatible with it. I cannot go forth and just fetch a sea turtle from A.R.C's because A.R.C's here in this world have no sea turtles. But I could go see some sea turtles and take Dr. Nami, who would be very excited to see them. He is our fish researcher, just so you guys know. But we could go and take Dr. Nami and travel to a new world where sea turtles exist. We couldn't bring them back because they don't exist here, but we could set up a entirely new zoo! Oh, pardon me, lab chicken, pardon me. We could set up an entirely new zoo where we would be able to start fresh and have sort of like a little satellite campus where we can set up a facility to make sure that we keep a good eye on all of the turtles there, for instance, and the dolphins and whatever else we find. And we could bring back what we could. Not everything that goes through a portal remains the same as it was in its other world, after all, but it'd be interesting to see what it might transform to if we bring them back here. Not to mention that there are a whole bunch of worlds where there are some powerful modified code genes, you could say, with all sorts of animals, creatures of fantasy that we have never seen before. So that's what Project ARC's going to be all about. Hopefully one day a beautiful set of portals that will stretch off into our labyrinth that we can go into, and we'll be able to travel to other places, set up more zoos, and we'll hopefully be able to bring back wonders of delight to Zudasia, which, just to reassure you guys, because I said the word new zoo, is not going anywhere. Zudasia is always going to be our home zoo. We're always going to have this be the core of who we are. I mean, this is where my darling lives. This is where my villager son Junior lives. But we are going to start keeping our eyes open on other realms so that we can set up a lot of small satellite zoos. You know, because we're the pixel biology community. We need to go forth into all of the worlds in order to spread the wonders of the natural world, to do research. Catherine, I really appreciate how I'm making this bold, dramatic speech and you are enjoying cake. That's, you know what? That's living your best life, and I approve. I kind of want to have some cake now. Maybe I'll go make some cake in a second to celebrate the wonders of the natural world and the wonders of this big project. But yeah, come on. We're researchers, travelers, adventurers. We always want to be setting out on new expeditions. So of course, this is the perfect way to do it. Just, it might take a little bit of experimentation to make it work first. And speaking of which, Project Leader Henrietta, okay, still angry, muttering blocks. I understand this didn't go the way you were hoping. Lab chicken? Okay. Nothing from you. Experiment 632. Do you happen to need anything? You're probably senior to Catherine, actually. I know she's the human here, but the lab chickens were specifically bred and cloned inside of the lab labyrinth to become our best researchers. Oh, all right. So experiment 632. You do need some materials. It looks like you specialize in obsidian. And if I bring you gravel and blaze powder, you'll give me a lava bucket. If I bring you a whole bunch of blaze powder, you'll give me a lava crystal. If I bring you obsidian, you'll give me an obsidian nugget. Or if I bring you 6 obsidian, ooh, you'll give me some zookeeper experience. So that is probably the task that they want us to do, because anytime we do something that helps to progress the projects in Zoodacia Zoo, we get zookeeper experience, which we can then use all over the world of Zoodacia, at least, for, you know, really helpful things like getting tasks done or hiring new people to help us out. Lab Chicken, are you feeling all right? Yeah, sometimes you guys do have those genes that we modified in to help you phase through things. But alright, Catherine, enjoy your cake. I'm glad everything's doing well. I hope to make progress on Project A.R.C. Our first goal, as Catherine mentioned, is to actually go ahead and make it so we can find a beautiful water world for Dr. Nami to enjoy for the summer. So, like, it'll be a Zoodacia beach vacation! We'll travel to a new beach world and we'll hopefully find lots and lots of sea turtles, and we can set Dr. Nami up maybe with some new fish. It just sounds amazing. Maybe we'll even be able to build some cool new types of boats. I am very tickled and look forward to being able to figure out how to do that. But for now, alright, let's go ahead. I'm feeling kind of nostalgic. I actually want to go peek inside of some of our chambers. Here in the labyrinth, it is built to be kind of like a labyrinth where the maze twists and turns around itself, and you might find yourself in unexpected places at just the turn of a corner. But I'll show you guys some of the animals that we have here, since we were just talking about animals that we could find in other worlds, because I also need to find somewhere to put all of these guys and make them happy and feel at home. Like peanut butter, apple jelly, and salad sandwich, the Dryasauruses that are in the soul stones, temporarily having their entire essence put into a crystal because we don't have anywhere for them to be at home. Soul stones are basically like safari nets. We can put creatures inside of them. I don't think that they come back after we put the animals out though. And all these black backpacks, yeah, these are the result of a dinosaur escape we had where the Dryasauruses ended up having a lot of babies. They got into some of the stuff that was hiding, you know, in the lab. The next thing you know, we ended up with this many Dryasauruses. Every bag, every single bag is filled with dinosaurs. And one day we're going to need to have Dinodecia, and we're going to need to find somewhere to put all these dinos. Because this is a little extreme. I think we might have to go on an expedition somewhere in the world of Zoodacia and find somewhere to be able to release these guys to the wild as a gigantic herd. So some sort of prehistoric canyon would be perfect for them. So there's an example of some of the creatures that you can find here in our world already, before we even set sail and jump into a portal to explore new lands. And then, oh, thank you very much, Experiment 404. I appreciate this unidentified egg. We will go and study it in the Zoology Research Center soon. And in here, this is actually where we have got our fantastic cryogenics chamber, where we have put a whole bunch of animals and some villagers and other things on ice. Left inside, like all these penguins, piranha, manta rays, Galapagos penguins, small fish, ants, crabs. We've got some villagers I need to revive. That's more like cloning the dead. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We have got a whole bunch of mice, other cows, kitties, wild horses, pigs. We have got hostile mobs that definitely could use a more fantasy-based zone to go to. Right over here we've got snakes, a lot of snakes, foxes, cassowaries, bears, ostriches, tigers, lions. Oh my goodness. Oh my. And we've even got quite a few of the Mosasauruses and other creatures that we need to catch as well. So we have a whole bunch of creatures we need to already give homes. Not to mention, I need to go ahead and figure out where my elephants ran off to. But that all just means, my friends, that there is so much to do in the zoo. And I'm sure that the lab chickens and Catherine will clean up the gigantic explosion they made in the side of my house, because there is so much to do in the zoo. And I actually want to get ready for an expedition. What better way to be able to return to zoo crafting than to give my beloved darling a kiss on the cheek, to go ahead... Oh, it's been so long since I've climbed these vines. This is awesome. And to go ahead and set forth in the world on a grand expedition to search for our missing elephants. So I think that's going to be our very first project. While the lab chickens and Catherine work on building us a portal system to let us travel to new worlds, we're going to go ahead and turn our eyes back outward and explore this one. It's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give... Darling! Take that. I'm going to go ahead and give my beloved a little kiss on the cheek. And then, you know what, guys? I think... Oh, let's get Lily and Tate out as well. I'll put them in the garden for just a second. We're going to get Lily and Tate comfortable. And then I think we might need to tidy up our packs. Lily, Tate, there you go. Lily, I've been having some really weird dreams about you lately. Is some sort of weird Minecraft-y, dungeon-y place where you're running around as a werewolf. It was really a surreal dream. I mean, have you been having weird dreams like that too, girl? Maybe we better go make your doghouse more comfy sometime soon. How about that? And if you have any more of those dreams, you can always come and let me know. But I think we should go ahead. We should tidy up. We should maybe make some delicious cake and get ready for an expedition to go and search for our missing elephants next time. So, thank you guys so much for joining me as we return to Zoodesia. It really feels so great to be back at home, picking strawberries, searching for a bunch of delicious spice. Oh my gosh. And I really can't wait to go on an expedition. I am fully ready to be completely distracted by plants as we go and search for hopefully enough elephants to rebuild our missing herd. And then maybe even do a bit of work over in the safari area for sure. Hey Iris, are you being a good girl? Yeah, good girl, taking care of the house. And I hope that you guys are ready for those adventures too. So if you could, do please leave a like for our wonderful return to zoo crafting. And if you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!